What's up, everybody? Hey guys, welcome and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Olivia Ongere. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for keeping up with me, and thank you so much for always coming back. So welcome back for yet another interesting video. So I'm going to do my makeup with you guys as we chat, as I give you guys a gist, as we just talk about life and all that. There's no specific topic that we're going to talk about, but we are just going to talk about life in general. I'm just going to be telling you random things that I've learned in life so far, because life life is a journey, they say. Anyway, so I'm going to do that as I do my makeup with you guys. So when I look down, just bear with me. Just bear with me, guys. So the first thing that I'm going to talk about is friendship. So over the past few years of my adulthood, I've had friends who I grew up with and I no longer talk to them. And I have friends who I met along the way on my adulthood journey and I talk to them. So friendship is like, it doesn't matter how long you have known someone, but with friendship, like, it's the quality of friendship that matter over quantity. So if you feel like a friendship is not serving you right, if you feel like the friendship that you're in is just not okay for you, there's always that room for you to just let it go and let it be. So I'm not saying that any tiny little thing in your friendship that you just let it go, but when you feel like it's too much and you feel like it's not serving you anymore, it's not bad to let it go and let it be. And the same applies to relationships. Like, if you feel like a relationship is not serving you anymore, it doesn't matter how many years you've been together, it doesn't matter how long you've known this person. If you feel like it's not serving you anymore, always let go and let it just be. It might be a painful process, especially losing friendship in your adulthood is so not like when you're young. You see, when you're young, it's easy, like it doesn't really matter that much. It does, but not as it is losing friendship when you're older, because when you're old, it can be tough, but when it's not serving you, let it go. Another thing is learning to say no. Like, a lot of the time we find ourselves not comfortable saying no to things that you really don't want to do, but saying no is just a task. Like, you don't want to say no. It's always good to say no. Like, just don't say yes when you mean no. Just say no outright. Like, the more I grow, the more I learn that it's always good to say no when you mean no, and not no when you mean yes, and not yes when you mean no. Don't always be a yes person all the time. So yeah, that's another thing that I thought I should talk about. And then the other thing that I've also learned in adulthood, that not everything will always go your way as you plan for it, and it's okay for things not to always turn out as you had imagined, as you had planned. But don't beat yourself over it. If things don't go your way, don't always beat yourself over it. That is just life. Not everything will always go your way. So yeah, another thing that I've learned in my adulthood life is learn to be kind to people. I know it might sound as simple as saying it, but learn to be kind to people. You never know what people are going through. Learn to use words like thank you, sorry, and please. Like, it's those simple things that really matter. Learn to use thank you, sorry, please. Such simple things can go a long way if you practice them, especially in your day-to-day life. Learn to say thank you, learn to say sorry, learn to say please. It can really go a long way. I'm also learning that on the go. Like, I've learned to be using those words as often as I can because they really go a long way. And then the other thing is to always just be truthful to yourself. Like, if you want to do something, before you do it, ask yourself, how is this going to benefit me? Like, how is this going to help me? How is this going to help the future that I want for myself? Like, always learn to ask yourself such questions before you do something. Other thing that I have learned in this life is that people are going through things, and not everything you see on social media is real. Behind the scenes, there's a lot that happens. So never ever compare yourself to someone else. Like, you don't know what is going on behind the scenes. Like, never ever never ever compare yourself to people, especially online. You don't know what they do behind the scenes. You don't know what happens immediately that camera is switched off. Like, even right now, I'm talking to you guys, but you don't know what I'm going through behind the scenes. The moment I switch this camera, you don't know what I'm going to do. You don't know. Like, never ever compare yourself to what you see on, especially online. It's good to get inspiration, but don't put too much pressure on yourself with what you see on social media, especially because not everything you see online is real. So don't compare yourself to people, be it people around you, be it people on social media, be it people in your life, in your circle. Always take your life as it is, as your own. You are in the right place where you're supposed to be in life. Don't get a lot of pressure from people around you. You see someone has bought a car and then you're like, oh, I also should get myself a car. I also need to have this. Never, ever, ever succumb to such pressure. Remember, comparison is the thief of happiness. So whoever came up with that knew exactly what they meant. So never, ever compare yourself to what you see online to other people. Like, live your life as you, according to your pace. Allow your life to be as God had planned for it to be. Do not rush God. Do not rush things. Like, allow yourself to grow according to your pace. Okay? Yeah. So the other thing that I've learned is not to talk negatively about your life, about yourself, about the people around you. Learn to talk positive things about yourself, about your life. This is something that I'm also still working on, and it's as simple as saying things that, oh, I'm very beautiful, oh, I'm very good at this, oh, I know I can do it. Is as simple as that. Like, don't always talk negative things. Remember the power of the tongue. Don't talk negatively about your life, about yourself, or about the people around you. And yeah, just always talk good things about yourself. Just say, I'm pretty, I'm beautiful, I'm handsome, I can do this, I've got this. Yeah, learn to use such words and learn to be positive and talk positive things about yourself. Like I've told you guys, I'm also learning this because I'm one of those people who can, like, sometimes I can talk to myself, and then after I come and think about it, I'm just like, what did I just say about myself? I'm not that. Especially things like, oh, like I just know they can't, like, you've gone for an interview and then you're just like, I know they won't choose me. Why? Why? Why are you saying that about yourself? What if they choose you? Like, for example, you want to start doing something and then you're just like, what if it doesn't work? What if you say, what if it works? What if it works for you? So always try and talk positively, positive things in your life. Speak life in your life. Learn to be positive and learn to speak positive things about yourself and about your life. The other thing that I've learned is to learn to value family, especially your close family members, your parents, your siblings. Learn to value your family. I know it's not always the same for people, like other people have different dynamics when it comes to family. I know it's different for each and every family, but if you have the opportunity to have like your parents around, you have your siblings, learn to value your parents, because if something happens to you today, for example, let me just give you a good example. If something happens to you today, who is the first person on your phone call that will be called? Is it not your dad? Is it not your mom? So learn to value your family, especially your close family, your dad, your mom, your sister, because family are the only people who will always be there for you no matter what. No matter what happens, you'll always go back to family. That is the only fallback or backup plan that you have, family. If anything happens to you today, the first person people will call, the first people will call are your parents. If you don't have parents, the first people will call maybe are your siblings. So always learn to value your family because they're the most important people. Okay, well, second from God, they're the most important people in your life. So learn to value your family. If you are lucky enough that you have a good relationship, because I know there's a lot in families out here, but if you're lucky enough that you have a good relationship with your parents, with your siblings, learn to always value them, put them close. They are the people who will be there for you when things are thick. They won't call your boyfriend first. They won't call your girlfriend first. They'll always call your family members first. They are always the first people who will receive anything about you. If anything happens to you, your family members will always be the first people to be told. So value your family. The other thing that I have learned is that you cannot do anything in this world without God. Like, God is everything. Yeah. You cannot do it without God. God is just everything. So learn to speak to your God. Learn to always speak to God first. Before you go for that interview, learn to tell God, God, I'm going for this interview. Lead me. Let me know, like, lead me, guide me, give me the right answers, give me the right words for the questions that I will be asked. Like, always learn to speak to God. God is your father, so always learn to speak to God every single moment of your life, because He is everything and you cannot survive without God in this world, okay? So learn to always put God first in everything that you do. Learn to always put God first and learn to talk to Him. So yeah, those are the random thoughts that I had in mind today, and I know I've just rambled. The video has been everywhere, but I hope you have learned a thing or two. Let me finish the rest of my makeup and then I come back and we finalize. So that's it for this week's video. Remember to like, comment, share, and most importantly, subscribe if you haven't already. Bye. Mwah, mwah, mwah.